Okay, last method of solving, solve by elimination. So if you have any two equations, you could solve by elimination. Now, what's the easiest way to eliminate? You remember elimination from before, hopefully. You look for a variable and you try to eliminate it by adding or subtracting equations. Now look at these two equations. Could you add or subtract these two and eliminate? You can in this case. Positive y squared, negative y squared. What if these were two different numbers? Remember multiplying equations by something and then adding or subtracting equations? That's how we do that. So you might have to do that. So be ready for it. But in this particular case, all we have to do is add these two equations up, and positive y squared minus y squared will cancel out. So 9x squared plus x squared is 10x squared. This plus this is gone, 0. Minus negative 90 plus negative 16. Nope, there's no more x's, so negative 90x. 216 plus negative 16, and that plus 200 equals 0 plus 0 is 0. Okay, so now we have a quadratic, x squared, x, and constant. Let's divide everything by 10 again, because we can make life a lot easier. X squared minus 9x plus 20 equals 0. Look at that right there, much easier to work with. And factors of 20 that add up to negative 9. X minus 4, x minus 5 equals 0. So therefore, my x equals, x minus 4 equals 0, which means x equals 4. X minus 5 equals 0, which means x equals 5. I got two x's, which means you got to put them both in, which means we're going to have two coordinates. You put this x in, you get a whole coordinate. You put this x in, you get another coordinate. So there's going to be two basically intersections happening between these two conic sections. Okay? So put in the 4, wherever it's easier. X is 4, I'd put it here. So this becomes 4 squared minus y squared minus 16 equals 0, which will we have 16 minus 16. So we get negative y squared equals 0 because 16 minus 16 cancels. So which means divide by negative 1, y squared equals 0, which means y equals 0. So when x is 4, y was 0. So write that somewhere. When x is 4, y was 0. Solutions. Okay. And lastly, when x is 5, we'll put it in the same place. Put 5 here. So we got 5 squared minus y squared minus 16 equals 0, which is 25. There's 25 minus 16, which is 9. So we got negative y squared. We got a positive 9 equals 0. Minus 9 on both sides. Y squared, negative y squared equals negative 9, which means y squared equals positive 9 if I divide by negative 1. And lastly, square root. So square root y squared is y. Square root 9 is 3. And we got 5 comma 3. But you remember that little thing, right? Square y squared, I should get two answers, right? So I should get plus or minus 3. So really my coordinates are 5, 3, and when you put 5 in, you also get negative 3. So how many coordinates are actually here? How many solutions? We got 3. We got 4, 0. We got 5, comma 3. And we got 5, comma negative 3. So 3 solutions. That's different. But that's okay. Just make sure you solve correctly, and whenever you get y squared equals something, you know there's two answers. So you're going to have to put both of them. Okay, that's it for section 7. Now, test time soon.